So for more on the price of everything from eggs to ham to bread and maybe steaks, Jonathan Langel, he's the general manager of Bobby Van Steakhouse here in Washington, D.C. I know you have a couple other stores in New York as well. Welcome to the show. Let me ask you this. You know, we've all noticed the cost of food going higher. You buy a lot of food for your customers, you know, obviously at wholesale prices. So you're part of that supply chain that you see how much things actually cost more. Which ones stand out to you where you say, I can't believe this is costing so much now than it did, say, 2 years ago?
The price of chicken has really stood out as, you know, a product that you could usually buy universally for a fair cost that has really skyrocketed. That's one that stands out overall. And
you obviously buy a lot of meats, right? We talked about eggs already, and I can tell you by going into the grocery store, you see the cost of, say, bacon, for example, right? It used to be $2, $3. You get 12, 16 ounces. Today, I think I saw the cost was like over $10 for a package of bacon uncooked, and I got to imagine that's impacting companies like yourself who you need to buy it for cheap because you've got to make it, you've got to sell, you've got to make a profit for the company as well.
Yes, of course. And actually for us in the beef market, it's split up into a couple different categories. So the price of, you know, certain beef, the luxury end, might be skyrocketing because supply and demand issues are harder to come by, while the overall price of beef may not be going up as much, but businesses like ours might truly suffer from that.
Now, have any of your customers come to you? Well, first of all, have you changed prices, for example, on what things cost to the customer, in other words, your menu, and have customers noticed that or said anything, or they just kind of go with the flow and that's just the way life is, things cost more now?
We try to keep the prices as low as we can, but we have had to raise them. Guests have noticed, no question. I don't know if it has truly affected how frequently we may see them or what they may purchase, but people definitely have noticed.
Have you noticed any changes in people's shopping habits? Are maybe some of your regulars coming less, or they order the salad instead of the steak? Anything that you think that we as consumers can do to, I guess, not only save money, but manage our own budgets?
You know, for us, we see that very, very little. I think it's more along the lines of they're choosing whether or not to come here or not. You know, coming here would be a treat, and they've either saved or they've allocated the funds and they said, hey, this is what we're going to do this time. And then maybe they don't come back next time, or they don't come twice, they only come once. I think when people come here, they're looking for a particular experience.
Right. And we all know where your location is in DC because you've been here for a long time. And during the pandemic, a lot of people did not go to work. They weren't downtown. They weren't walking around. Now it's very different. People are mostly back to work. I don't think 100%, but many are back to work. And I imagine that your business has seen a significant uptick in business just from people coming back to the office.
Significantly.
How much would you say?
Over 40% for sure.
40%.
And over 100% from the lows of 2020.
So we often talk about inflation, and these prices have all gone up, and the Fed has raised rates. The economy is now slowing down or growing less. And if these prices fall back down, how will that ultimately, you think, impact not just your business, but other restaurants across the country? Would they pass on any savings to consumers, or you think these high prices are here to stay?
I think some people might be able to lower prices again, obviously, if they're paying less. There is more room in that margin. I think a lot of industries, including the restaurant industry, margins were so tight to begin with that people might try to hold on to them for a little bit longer as well. It will be a trend in the industry, and chains as well as individuals will be making, you know, the choice of where they want to go and what their business can handle.